President Mnangagwa has rallied the legion of ZANU-PF supporters to ensure a sweeping victory in the by-elections slated for the first quarter of next year, adding that the polls will serve as a litmus test for the Revolutionary Party's preparedness for the 2023 harmonized elections. Addressing thousands of ZANU-PF supporters at Copa grounds in Chimanimani yesterday, the president said a resounding victory for ZANU-PF was inevitable as the party through the government had rolled out a lot of projects that positively impacted on people's lives. As of October 22, Zimbabwe had a total of 133 elective by-elections at National Assembly and local authority levels. The by-elections were necessitated by recalls of MDCT members from the two bodies, National Assembly or local authorities, deaths and dismissals. We will be holding by-elections during the first quarter of 2022. As ZANU-PF, we want a clean sweep of all the vacant seats. This will serve as a litmus test of our preparedness for the 2023 harmonized elections. We should register and vote in our numbers to ensure that the country remains in safe hands. Mobile registration exercises will be rolled out in all deserving areas, and those without identification particulars should take advantage of this exercise to acquire the documents and register as voters. The mobile registration exercise should ensure that all people have the necessary identification details without any hassles. We want to ensure that as many people as possible are registered as voters, said President Mnangagwa. He reiterated calls for peace to ensure that the development trajectory the country has taken is not derailed. We should continue developing our economy. This can only be achieved if there is peace in the country. We should all be peaceful. My government will ensure that no one and no place is left behind in the development trajectory. There is no province you can point saying there is no development taking place. From Matabeleland to all corners of the country there are activities happening on the ground. We are working at alleviating the perennial water challenges that were bedeviling Bulawayo and other cities in the country. We are also happy with the progress on the Harare-Beitbridge Road, and from January, we will be embarking on the Harare-Kanyamba Road construction project. Every member of the National Assembly should come up with a list of projects that will benefit their constituencies, and the Constituency Development Fund should be put to maximum use, he said. As Zimbabwe moves towards the rainy season, where weather experts have predicted a normal to above normal season occasioned by natural disasters, President Mnangagwa said government has already availed funds for early warning systems as well as mitigatory measures to save lives and protect infrastructure. As a country we are prone to natural disasters and we have set aside funds to mitigate against them. We should be adequately prepared for any disasters. We should have in place early warning systems as well as mitigatory measures. Mechanisms should also be put in place to ensure minimum damage of infrastructure in the event of these natural disasters, he said. The president said Zimbabwe, like any other country, is also suffering the brunt of climate change, a reason why it added its voice to calls by the developing world to be accorded a transition period to move from fossil fuels to green energy. We were recently in Glasgow, Scotland, where the issue of the continuous use of fossil fuels took center stage. After developing their countries through the use of fossil fuels, the developed world is advocating for their ban, but we stood up against them. The developed world is the major contributor to climate change through the emission of gases they were doing to develop their industries and now want Africa, Latin America and Asia to stop using fossil fuels, yet we have large deposits of them like coal. We called for a transitional period of between 15 to 30 years for us to move to green energies. The developed world should avail funds for the developing world to invest in solar energy, wind-powered electricity generating turbines and biogas. This is not an overnight event as climate change does not select between the developed and developing world, said President Mnangagwa. Turning to the Mwonzora program which he will be launching in Gaku today, President Mnangagwa said everyone should benefit regardless of having prepared the fields or not. There should be no discrimination in the distribution of inputs under the Mwonzora program. Agritech's extension officers should ensure that everyone benefits. Those who fail to benefit from this government program should not hesitate to approach their traditional leaders or law enforcement agents for redress, he said. The proclamation of provisional dates for by-elections comes as a massive blow to MDCT leader Douglas Mwonzora, who had begged President Mnangagwa to consider scrapping pending by-elections when the two met under controversial circumstances at State House on June 11. Mnangagwa met Mwonzora while in the company of Vice President Constantino Chiwenga. The MDCT leader revealed after the meeting, described by his lieutenants as secretive, that he had tabled a set of demands to the ZANU-PF leaders but flatly refused to disclose them, saying he was waiting for the president's written response. This publication, however, obtained a copy of the 4-page document Mwonzora gave Mnangagwa. The suspension of by-elections, which if done, would give Mwonzora an edge over Nelson Chamisa's MDC alliance in the fight for recognition as the main opposition party in Zimbabwe. The MDCT leader justified the proposal to suspend by-elections, saying it would give Zimbabweans time to find each other. While Zimbabweans are talking and finding each other in this serious manner, it seems unnecessary to introduce something divisive as by-elections, he said in the statement. It is, therefore, suggested that while discussions are going on regarding aforementioned issues, by-elections be suspended. In order to avoid prejudice to the electorate, it is suggested that an arrangement be made for parties to make replacements of vacancies in their areas of control as guided by law. Following a controversial Supreme Court ruling last year, MDCT has recalled dozens of MDC alliance legislators and councillors amid accusations that it is aiding Mnangagwa's ambitions to create a one-party state. Mwonzora denies allegations that he is a ZANU-PF puppet, but he has indicated his eagerness to work with the ruling party while pushing out Chamisa's group. In his submissions to Mnangagwa, he also proposed a new dialogue platform between MDCT and ZANU-PF to be known as the Parliamentary Dialogue Forum, PDF. He said PDF would be made up of 5 ZANU-PF legislators, 5 MDCT legislators and 2 chiefs. The platform would have ZANU-PF and MDCT principles, while excluding MDC alliance. According to the document, the PDF would have its own secretariat, where ZANU-PF and the MDCT will second officials that would be on a full salary. The two political parties to select 2 salaried and specific coordinators each, who sit in the PDF, reads the document. Mwonzora assured Mnangagwa that there would be no further talk of the 2018 general elections as that was water under the bridge as concluded by the Constitutional Court. The Constitutional Court of Zimbabwe made a definitive judgment, which in the party's view settled the legitimacy question. To the MDCT party, the legitimacy is a settled issue, he wrote.